Hi everyone, this is Dave from Geekanoids, and you might wonder what's up with the video quality on a Geekanoids video in 2013. Well, I've published this video for a purpose because I wanted to give you a look at my very first YouTube video camera. That's better, back up to full HD video quality. Now, I've been wanting to actually do this video for a long time, and the reason being is the most asked question I actually get on YouTube through the comments and through email and Twitter is, what sort of camera should I buy to make YouTube videos? Or, I can't make YouTube videos because I can't afford a good camera. Well, back in 2006, when I started doing YouTube videos, I was using the family camera, so it was the best sort of quality camera we could afford at the time. It's actually sitting just off to my left hand side here, alongside two other cameras I want to show you briefly in this video. And the reason I want to share this with you is because I started with what in today's terms is a very poor quality video camera. It was actually a little point and shoot camera, the Canon Powershot A80. So let's take a closer look at the A80, and then I'll come back to you to have another little chat about really where I think you should be looking when you want to start making YouTube videos. So these are the three cameras I'm going to show you in this video. We've got the very first camera I used for my YouTube videos back in 2006, the Canon Powershot A80. I'm going to feature this one most because this is probably of most interest to you in this particular video. And then we've got the Canon Powershot A1200 IS, and then a camera I'm currently testing, which is the Olympus Stylus TG2. So let's pop these two newer ones just out of the way for a short while and show you around my very first camera I used for YouTube. This is the Canon Powershot A80. Now, this at the time when I purchased this was the best camera that I could afford, and it wasn't even really bought for YouTube. It was bought as a family camera so that we could take holiday photos and just record memories in a photographic form. And it's a 4 megapixel camera. It's got a 3x optical zoom, and I'll just give you a guide around it because it is really rather interesting. And the fact that at the time of purchasing this, I think it was almost £200, might have even been a little bit more than that. So we've obviously got the lens flash on the front, and then round on this side we've got the memory card slot, and yes, it does use a compact flash card. I've got a 1 GB card in there at the moment, and this still has got some old sort of family photos on as well. Then round on the back, now this is going to amaze you, we have got a flip out screen that you can rotate so it's front facing, which was really lucky when I started off doing YouTube videos because it meant I could record myself. This particular camera was used to record my first video, which was the disco case from Griffin Technology, and I also used it to record my first Arcos video as well. Now we'll power this on so you can see the screen in action, and the screen unfortunately isn't working at its best. It still does work, but you can see the screen here and you can see the box behind the lens there, so you get an idea of how tiny this screen is. Let me give you a close-up of that, and it is the screen that is suffering at the moment. It's not working at its best. You get some sort of a distortion on it and lines going across, but it still works. And one of the really nice things about this is when you're not using the camera, the screen is protected when it clips back into the body of the camera. And then we've got some control dials here, display function. Playback is actually on a switch, so you switch it down to this position to review what you've recorded. Set and menu buttons down here. We've even got a DC input there as well, so you can run it off of the mains. And it does actually run off of AA batteries. No lithium battery on this one, so it's 4 AA batteries, and it clips back in there. It's really well made, and you consider this camera is getting on for about 8 years old now, and it still all works fine. 4 megapixel sensor, as I mentioned. What else can we show you? Oh, on the top here, we've got the shutter button. We've got the zoom control on the top as well. We've got the on-off button. We've got a little speaker, and then we've also got the mode dial. So we've got sort of auto, scene modes built into the mode dial on this one. It's not menu driven on this one. and then we've got a dedicated camera mode. We've even got custom 1 and custom 2 modes, manual. We've also got aperture priority, shutter priority, program mode and auto. So really quite a full featured camera for the time that this was released. The Canon Powershot A80, it really did serve me well when I was taking family photos, and when I started doing my YouTube videos, I just picked this up and used what I had at the time. Now the reason I wanted to show you these other cameras is this was probably near to £200 when it was purchased. This one here I purchased just as a gift for my wife I think about sort of 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. It was around about £100. It captures 720p video, and the reason I wanted to show you this is because you can buy this sort of camera now to do your YouTube videos, and the 720p video footage that it captures is perfectly acceptable for using for YouTube. There's not a lot of sort of options on that top mode dial there, but it's got a nice large screen on the back, nice controls on the back as well, and as I say, the video quality this produces is more than acceptable for YouTube, and you can pick up the equivalent current model of the Powershot A3200 IS for under £100, and that will serve you very, very well for doing your YouTube videos. And then if you want to step up and spend a little bit more, it's not necessary, but if you want something that's a bit tougher, this is what I'm testing at the moment, and this is the Olympus Stylus TG2. It's a little bit more expensive. I can't remember the exact price on this, but I think it's round about the sort of £300 mark. This will capture 1080p video, and from my early tests so far, I'm still testing this, it's working extremely well. And this is waterproof, also drop proof as well. And it also works in extreme temperatures. Got a nice large screen on the back, really nice control mechanism, 12 megapixels, and a really worthwhile purchase if you're taking sort of lots of action videos for YouTube. So you've got a couple of options there that come in at a really cheap price point, but you don't necessarily have to spend any money at all to get into YouTube videos if you already own something like one of the modern day smartphones. So there we have it. It really does prove that you can make YouTube videos with just about any camera that you can lay your hands on. This is what I started out with, and 6 years on, and you can see how things have progressed. Now, when you're sending in questions either via the comments section or Twitter or email, asking specific questions about a certain type of video that you want to produce, or a certain type of shooting angle or certain lenses, something really specific, of course I can give you some really good advice on what you should be looking for. But when you're asking a very general question as to how do I start out in YouTube, I can't afford a good camera, or I can't afford as good a camera as you've got, please do not worry. Don't let that even enter your mind. Most modern day smartphones nowadays, and most compact cameras that are under £100 shoot in 720p video. Now that's more than enough for YouTube videos, and if you've got a smartphone already, you don't even have to spend any extra money. You can just use that smartphone, get some good lighting in the room, make sure everything's well lit, and your videos will look perfectly acceptable. It's all to do with the content to start off with, and as you progress, then you can of course invest in maybe better camera equipment at a later stage. That can all come later. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed the look at my Canon Powershot A80. That's how I started on YouTube. Please do keep the comments coming. Please do hit that like button, and I'll see you all in the next video.